Okay, waited a long time for this, but this video is for John Hawley on how to use and operate safely, at least for the watch, the Henry Capt minute repeater, which is now finished and come out of test and running nicely with an accurate minute repeater. So, firstly, the side of the watch with the dial is the one with this engraving here. And all we do to open it, now that we have a new spring in, is we press down on the crown. So if I do that now, you will see that it pops open, okay? Clearly, without the spring in, it wouldn't have done that, but you can now see that. Let me just get a pointer here, that the spring is protruding there. And to close it, you just push it down gently and you will hear it snap nicely there. So again, just push down on the crown gently and it pops open, and there is the dial. So let's invoke the minute repeater. So to do that, we will slide along this actuating lever here. So what we need to do is get our nail in behind this little lip here. Now it is, I mean, this has been used over the years and it is solid gold. So it's difficult to do in gloves. You really do need to get your nail in behind it. Now the other thing is that the new spring that I've put in to power the mechanism, the complication, is by necessity quite strong. So you're going to have to push it back. And when you do that, do keep a good grip of the watch, because if you let go of the watch, the spring has the power to throw it out of your hands. So I'm just going to do that now and push it all the way. Okay, and it struck out 4 minutes past 6 there, which is completely accurate. You can see that it is 4.5 minutes past 6, which is good. So what I'm going to do now is just change the time. Now to change the time on the watch, we need to use this little lever here, and I'll cut in a minute to what that is doing under the dial when you lift that up, because it's useful to understand that. But what we're going to do is just lift that up to that position, make sure it's nicely at the top there. The mechanism inside is shaped in such a way that it's quite a nice positive change and it stays in nicely when it's up there. Now here's a really important thing. When you go to change the hands, it is much safer for the mechanism inside if you turn them anti-clockwise. And to do that, we're going to turn the crown in a kind of upwards direction here with my thumb going up. The reason for that is that the snail, which is underneath the soft metal hour wheel and minute wheel, the steel snail is turning round in a direction where it is least likely to snag. Okay, now you can turn it the other way, and in fact I'll do that just to start with quickly. You can turn it forward like that, but if at any point you feel any resistance, you must back out of it, okay? Because what you must never do when you're doing this is get frustrated and force it, because you have a very large steel intermediate wheel, or pinion actually, and that has very thick steel teeth, and that is turning the brass minute wheel, which has delicate brass teeth, and that of course is a recipe for disaster. But let's just turn the time on to, let's say, there we go, that is 6:47. Now let me just show you the accuracy of the minute repeater. Let's invoke that one more time. Oops. Okay, and that's exactly accurate. That struck out 6:45. And as you can see, I must have moved it as I pushed over the lever. Let's just change that again, just to show that again. Let's make it at 6:47. Now this time I'm going to lock that in by, we've now, so if I move that now, I won't actually move the time. And let's invoke the minute repeater again. Okay, which is exactly accurate. When you finish setting the time on the watch, it's very important to move this little lever back, because if you leave it engaged, essentially you've got the motion work not only trying to push around the hour and minute wheel, but it's also engaging still with the stem, and that will cause the watch to start to slow down because it's really too much load on the mechanism. So just remember to pop that back in there. We'll just take a look at the other side of the watch now. So let's just close that up and spin it over. Now this, there is no spring for opening this side of the watch. So provisioned here is this little lip to get your finger or your nail again in behind. So just holding the watch firmly, just get in there and open it up. It does actually open reasonably easy. Here we can see now the underside of the movement. We've got a good amplitude there, as you can see. So just for the hell of it, let's invoke the mechanism and watch it. But before I do that, actually, you can, this now is properly protected, as you can see, by the this glass part of the dust cover, which was missing, and the hinge here was missing, the hinge post, but that's all been fixed up now, which is good. Okay, sorted out the light here. If you do want to open this dust cover, and you know, I don't recommend it unless you really have to, but if you do want to do it, you need to get a implement just under here, bearing in mind that this is solid gold, so it's quite a soft metal. You need to get an implement just under there, just gently, and twist it a little bit like that, and it will come up nicely like so. And actually with that you can actually hear the mechanism now. Okay, so once you finish that, just pop that back, pop it down, it clicks in nicely. Okay, so let's invoke the mechanism, the minute repeater again from this side, just because we can, and it's pretty and nice to look at. So just getting hold of that now, and okay, there we are. I think that's about it. I don't think there's anything else really to mention. Of course, we've got the engraving in the inner part of the case there, and then the back just snaps closed like that. Okay, and it does close nicely now, nice and firm. So, John, thank you so much for your patience over the months that I've been working on this watch. Oh, and of course, you don't have to look at the watch at all. It will tell you the time. You can just hold it like that. Do that. There we are. Isn't that lovely? This is going to be winging its way from Wales to California to you very shortly. Thank you again for your patience, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to work on this really lovely watch. There we are.